Howdy folks, a little bit of a conversation on this video vignette about what I call a meeting framework. Obviously, all meetings, all conversations are designed to answer those three questions about what's it going to cost me, what am I going to get, and can I do this? But this is a framework that I have found to be very successful in terms of positioning that information at an evening's meeting or an afternoon's presentation. As relates to this and all of these video vignettes, if you have something that works, by all means, please keep doing it. If you have instructions from your upline as to doing A, B, and C, then please keep doing A, B, and C. I offer this framework as a piece of food for thought so that you can begin to ponder maybe a little bit differently in approach and maybe make some nuanced changes. Or, which is probably more likely, in the absence of a framework or something that's really working for you, inserting this as the thing to do that makes it more effective for you. I find that the meeting format, let's assume an evening meeting, broken into two sections works best. You have what I call a YUnicity section, basically presenting our credentials, why people should join YUnicity, why they should take our products, why we are a compelling opportunity and product family. The second section, after a 10-minute break, is what now? I like what now because it speaks to immediacy, but I'll speak to that a little bit more later on. Now, in the first section, the YUnicity, I personally use the 5P presentation that I've lectured you on before. It's designed to answer those three questions again. What's it going to cost me? What am I going to get? And can or do I want to do this? I use a lot of testimonials. I've given you a video vignette on how to do that, which is basically, again, where was I? Where am I? With some data, some measurements, some before and afters, if you will. And then most importantly, the third step, here's how I feel about that, which brings in this balance of data and emotion, that Sissimo approach. It's live. And then I recommend to folks that aren't quite as confident maybe to use the tools. If all you have to do is set up the video and push play, that more than anything answers the question for people about, well, I can do that. I can set up a video and push play and maybe give a light introduction and have a few people give wonderful testimonials. That's the framework for the YUnicity. Those 5 Ps, thematically answering those three questions, testimonials, particularly as relates to the product. Certainly I do 2/3 on product, 1/3 on business if there are any. I have that balance of data and emotion, so Sissimo is active, and I use the tools. I'll certainly encourage those that are maybe a little bit less confident to use those tools. And then I take a 10-minute break. And I announce that at the beginning of the meeting. We're going to speak for 45 to 50 minutes and help you understand why YUnicity is wonderful. Then we're going to take a 10-minute break, and if you need to go, you're welcome to be excused. That way people aren't fidgeting, wondering how long is this thing going to go. They know it's going to take 45 to 50 minutes, then there's going to be a break. It allows for that graceful exit if they're not interested. What I have found is when we tell people what's going to happen and we operate in that regard, people are more genuine in their exit. There's not people coming and going and leaving and all those sort of things. They can take their bathroom breaks or return the text or whatever. They can certainly wait 45 or 50 minutes to do that. I found that when people do excuse themselves, they're much more genuine and they generally say, hey, follow up with me, I can't stay, etc., etc. I'm also very mindful of the fact that people have driven across town for this meeting. 10 minutes or an hour and a half, whatever the traffic may be and wherever the meeting is being held. The overall time frame needs to be respectful of that. A meeting that is shorter than the drive time to get to and from it seems like a little bit of a waste of time. Why did I drive an hour for a 30-minute meeting? Likewise, a 3-hour meeting that never seems to end is disrespectful the other way because people have spent the last half of the meeting looking at their watches wondering when it's going to be over. So I find positioning up front. We're going to talk about YUnicity for the first 45 to 50 minutes. We'll take a 10-minute break. You can gracefully excuse yourself if you need to or want to. Take a bathroom break or check your phone. And then we're going to come back and do what I call what now so that we can focus on some of the action items. Then they come back from their 10-minute break. We start again. I've mixed and mingled. I've heard some of the feedback. I can begin to maybe recap very quickly the YUnicity, and then we segue into what now. The what now section, and I like now as opposed to next. Most people use the terminology of what next. I don't like that because that presupposes something else has to happen before I can get to work. I like the language and the imagery of what now. I present some of the homework. I talk about the strategy session we'll do and what we'll cover in that. I give them that pre-homework of begin to build your list. Begin to ponder on those that you know or those that know you and what their needs are for which YUnicity can be a solution. Begin to set some goals. Think through what would you want to do in terms of product and health goals or economic and business goals. Begin to ponder on that. That session is particularly focused on answering that unasked question of, can I do this? The goal being, by the end of the evening, an hour and a half, an hour and 45, they've been fully informed as to why YUnicity is good for them and those that they want to approach. And they've begun the what now of, okay, I'm moving forward. The end result of the what now is I'm in, and we schedule your strategy session or getting started session. That's a successful evening. Now, of course, it's all a question of the follow-up. It's all very well to invite people to the meeting, do a great meeting, and then just let the universe take over from there. That won't be successful for you. So you've got to follow up. You've got to have a call to action, the therefore what. Ideally, the call to action is one of two things. Either they want the product because they want to begin to experience it, and that's cleanse, balance, matcha, or cleanse and balance, or cleanse and matcha, or just cleanse. Absolute worst case, it's nature's tea, and I usually have those with me at the event. And then I follow up, follow up, follow up. I list that 3 times because I usually give people 3 strikes. I don't know when I first follow up whether they're busy, what happened that morning, why they're distracted, whether they're on. So I give them some grace. I follow up a second time if I spoke to them or didn't speak to them. And then I give them a third time. And the third time usually is, hey, it's Aaron here. We've missed each other. Or the last time we spoke, you were humming and hawing a little bit. Hey, I'll let you off the hook. I want you to know that whenever you're interested, I'm here. Do you mind if I put you on my tickle list? And then we begin that conversation, away we go. But a great leader in the industry once said, the fortune's in the follow-up. And that is true. You can do the world's best meeting. Answer most effectively why YUnicity and what now. And give them all brilliant data and wonderful emotion in a Sissimo context of what's it going to cost me, what am I going to get, and can I do this? But if you don't follow up in a rigorous, systematized way, then all that, frankly, is for naught. So follow up, follow up, follow up. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye-bye.